Things our exes did and we still stayed. Wait.
Do you wanna go first?
You wanna go first?
Sure. Bit my face because I wanted to go home for the night.
You win already? Snapchatted nudes to 10 plus other girls after a year of being together.
Bit my when he was eating it. Why did he bite it? He thought that's how you ate it. Because I asked him the same question.
Please. Got drunk and told me I needed to chill because I've been on them pills, literally referring to antibiotics I was on because I had swollen lymph nodes.
He thought it was affecting your behavior.
He was like, you know you've been on them pills. You don't even know what you're saying. You know you've been on them pills. I was like, my antibiotics?
Where is his brain?
Not in the room with us.
Had my mom arrested.
I need to know the story time on that one.
I can't.
Not right now, like, but.
Yes.
Please. Threatened to unalive himself if I didn't pick up the phone after he verbally abused me all night.
Bought 3 pairs of sneakers instead of helping me with the rent.
My last one I have here is
Please.
pushed me into a locker on the first day of school and called me a smut.
Bro, what? On the first day?
On the first day of school.
Kicked me out of Christmas dinner with his family because his other girlfriend was coming over.
Please! How did that go? Like, what did he say?
He was crying.
But like, so in the moment you knew?
No, he was just like, come with me somewhere, come with me, we gotta go do something right now. Like, we gotta go do something. And then in the car, he was crying.
What was the reason for crying in the moment?
Well, because I love Christmas, and like, he didn't have a good excuse. So he was
so
just,
he felt,
he
the
was just
tears were real.
Yeah, he was just taking me back home. That's what we had to go do.
Was that your last one?
I have one more. My last one is, threw iced tea at my head right after I got in from getting my sewing installed. That shit was like 4 hours.
And what can you reenact it?
Well, I don't know. Like, he would just get mad randomly, and I had just got home from my hair appointment, and he threw styrofoam cup, and he threw it at me, and it splashed all over the door and everything, and my hair started getting curly. It was like a blend-in sewing. And then he was like, I didn't do that when I brought it up. I was like, why would you do that? Like,
it was an out-of-body experience. And we still stayed.
Girl likes to challenge.
Leave!
Things my ex did and I still stayed. He gave me chlamydia twice. He threatened to kill my dog Sadie if I didn't unblock him, who, mind you, was literally just a puppy at the time. He threw me out of his apartment for accidentally starting my period during quiet time, and then wouldn't talk to me for 2 weeks after. Piggybacking on that, he could not have intercourse unless Cartoon Network was on in the background. Like, he could not perform otherwise. He would ask me a lot to try and sneak pictures of my girlfriends when they were changing. Obviously, I never did it, but I just brushed it off as him being a silly little perv. He told me he had fantasies about my mother. He told me, and I quote, "You would be a perfect 10 if it weren't for your boobs." He lied and told his parents that I was 22 and not in fact my real age, which was 18. Whether or not this is all one ex or a collective of exes of mine, that's for you to decide. I am neither confirming or denying either or.
Things my ex did and I still stayed. On our 1-year anniversary, I caught him giving back shots to my best friend. Found proof of him talking to my cousin, and he denied it and said that I logged into his account and wrote all the messages. He put me in a closet for 24 hours straight simply because he thought I was cheating. Whenever I confronted him, he told me that there's not a problem with him cheating on me because I'm too skinny. During any argument, he would go lock himself in the bathroom and threaten to himself, and most of the time he would just hit himself in the head and then say it was my fault. He stole off on my car while I was at work and took it to an entire different city to go hang out with another girl, and I didn't get my car back for 48 hours. I didn't have a job or a car, so I literally paid all the bills at the apartment and drove him literally everywhere. A Tinder notification popped up on his phone while we were watching a movie one time, and he told me that I was literally hallucinating and I needed to go to the doctor to get checked for schizophrenia. He actually got to decide who my friends were allowed to be based on how attractive they were. He punched me in the face and literally threw a hissy fit like a toddler because I told him he couldn't use my car for the night because I had to go to work. He forced me to allow multiple people to come live in our apartment whenever I was the only one paying bills. He used to go into the bathroom and he would stare at himself in the mirror and try to freak himself out because he thought it was hilarious. He literally cried like a baby if I didn't purchase the links that he sent me of things he wanted as soon as he sent it to me. He consistently changed the passwords on his phone like literally every week, and he told me that I just had a really bad memory and I wasn't getting his password right. Literally ran all the way around the apartment complex into a gas station nearby just so I wouldn't be able to get a hold of his phone. If he didn't want me to go to work that day, I was not allowed to go to work that day. He had a girl best friend that would come stay over whenever I was out of town working and told me that she had family problems going on, but in all reality, he was sleeping with her. He broke my dresser and poured bleach all over my clothes because Burger King was closed and he wanted it. He made me buy him the latest iPhone. He didn't have enough credit to get approved for it. And I paid his phone bill. He wanted to be a SoundCloud rapper, and he spent most of the days in the closet because it was quote-unquote soundproof. He completely destroyed my apartment and punched a million holes in my walls and has thrown me into a wall, so there was a body-sized hole in the wall. And he told me that it was all my fault because I was overreacting about him texting other women. He said I was insecure for wanting his location. He literally shoved me into a wall in front of like 12 of my friends when we were at a gathering. He told all of his buddies that I was psychotic and always tripping on him. I wasn't allowed to take showers without him being home. He made me sleep in the car at my own apartment because he was having friends over. He had me tattoo his buddies out of my house, but he kept the money that I made. He used to make me repeat certain phrases over and over again because it gave him a sense of power or something. He made me do his driver's license exam. I could keep going as well. Don't ever be as stupid as I was.
Things my ex did to me and I still stayed. This could be about one ex or multiple. You take your pick. Let's just get right into it. Tried to choke me in a corner while drunk, and no, not in a fun way. Really shouldn't be laughing because it's not funny, but like at this point, it's how I cope. Number 2, wrote a girl's phone number in his notes app while he was out at a bar. And yes, I did find this in his notes the next day. Figured out what area code that girl's phone number was and figured out who the girl was. Forced me to buy a gym membership because he would tell me that I'm fat. And here's the bonus to this one. He would force me to go with him multiple times a week. Not to mention, this gym membership was not cheap. I did not want to be spending my money on it. He would force me to send him pictures of every single thing that I ate to make sure that I wasn't eating too much. And if I was, he would make me go to the gym that day if I hadn't. Oh my gosh. Would constantly tell his roommates that he wants to hook up with his math teacher, like the assistant one. And typically the assistant teachers were like our age, so that just made it so weird. I mean, regardless, it's weird, but yeah, I would have to know that every single time he would go to that class every week that he would be thinking about hooking up with her. So awesome. But shout out to his roommates for letting me know this. That's how I found out a lot of this, so this makes it even funnier. Next one might be the best one. He invited a girl over while I was already in his bed sleeping for the night. Like fully, I was already asleep for the whole entire night. We were sleeping at his house and he invited a girl over and they hung out downstairs like one floor below where I was sleeping. And not only did he invite one girl, he invited their whole friend group. He was hanging out with the whole friend group. This was a girl he used to talk to as well. Thought I'd mention that. Yup, just sound asleep in my boyfriend's bed and there he was, one floor below, inviting girls over that he used to talk to. Awesome. And I did find this out through his text messages on his phone when the girl literally said, "Almost there." And I got confirmation from the roommates. So again, shout out to the roommates. He would FaceTime girls behind my back and then delete it off of his phone, but then I'd find it on his computer the next morning. Again, these are girls that he did used to talk to, so that makes it even better, right? If we ever were having an argument in the car, he would force me to get out of the car and then literally leave me there, even if it was in the middle of nowhere and I had no way to get back. Sometimes he would come back for me, but if he did, he would just call me a bitch the whole entire car ride home, or just multiple names that I cannot say on here. But I mean, like, at least he picked me up. In my head, I was like, oh, he's so sweet. Like, he came back for me. That was so nice of him. And I'm not even kidding. Like, literally, that went through my head. I was supposed to pick him up from the bar this one night, but he wasn't answering me, which kind of made me nervous, and the bar was already closed, so I drove all the way there to see what was going on and found him on the sidewalk, walking home with a girl. So I pulled over and said, guys, get in! I'll drive you home. And yes, I drove her home. And I stayed with him. I mean, I had a talk with him the next morning, but I stayed with him. Yeah. Fun fact, this was the exact same girl whose phone number he wrote in his notes where I figured out the area code, so that was even more fun for me. I was like, oh, all the pieces are coming together. So fun. And yes, you guessed it, he did this same exact thing with the same exact girl the weekend after. I did still stay, even though he did it for a second time. 2 weekends in a row. This one night, we were in like a really bad fight, so he invited a girl over 5 minutes after I left, and I only know this because his roommates told me the next day. So, isn't that so fun? Gosh, all these are so fun. Isn't this just awesome? This next one is really fun. A girl in my sorority who I wasn't that close with called me and she said, hey, I saw your boyfriend dancing and like doing other things with this girl at a bar last night. I just want to make sure that you guys are still dating. I was like, what? I said, yep, we are still dating. Thank you for letting me know. Here's another good one that I actually found out myself from looking through his phone. He went up to a girl at a bar and told her that he wishes they never stopped talking. And I found this out because there was a text message from her on his phone that said, did you really mean everything you said last night? What did he say? What the hell did he say? Awesome. So game days in Alabama are like a really big deal, but he decided last minute that he did not want me a part of his plans anymore. But it was too late to go with my friends instead because they were already at the game and I didn't have a ticket because I was planning to hang out with him, which he just removed me from his plans. So I spent my game day going to a place called Chicken Salad Chick all by myself and I ate inside there alone. Yep, all alone, eating lunch by myself, and no, he did not care or feel bad, but I did meet up with my friends later, so. This next one I found out about after we broke up, but I had to include it. He was out at the bar with his friends and saw a girl that he used to talk to. This girl did not like him. Like, she had him blocked on everything, like every social media. But apparently seeing her at the bar made him miss her, so guess what he did? Later in the night, he walked to her apartment, knocked on her door, and begged if she would talk to him. Basically, he begged her to unblock him on everything, and she said, no, please get out of my apartment. But apparently it took forever for him to leave. So, yeah, and we were fully dating, and I had no idea until after we broke up, so awesome. A lot of the times his friends would yell at him to stop calling me names and yelling at me like the way he did, but he would just ignore them and keep doing it. So, okay, last one, best one. I don't know if I can say this one. So he would force me to wake up at 4 a.m. to go stand outside of Target with him because he always wanted these sports cards, but it was like limited to 1 per person. He would force me to go with him so he could get more packs of the cards. And if I didn't go with him, he would like try and break up with me, so I'd go every single time because I was scared that he was gonna do that. So I just did everything that I thought would please him, which is so sad, so sad. So for all my girlies, if you're in a relationship that is similar to any of the things that I said, that is not normal behavior, and do not stay because I wish I didn't. I am so glad that I finally got out of that, and yeah, just please make sure you're safe and don't stay. I have had multiple boyfriends in high school and in college too, so these stories could have been about any of them. I now have the best boyfriend in the whole entire world, so I am very thankful for that. Love you guys, bye!
Things my ex did to me and I still stayed. Called me a bitch at the bar in front of all of his friends because I told him maybe he should give one of his shots to his friend because he was blackout drunk. Later found him that night smoking a cigarette with a random person on the street. I drove him home and he puked red all over his mom's white carpet. And yes, I did stay up all night to make sure he was okay while his head hung in the toilet. Told me he was going to the bar with his friends, and I later found out that none of his friends could actually make it. So it was just him and his girl best friend, who he once asked out on a date when they first met, hanging out at the bar till past midnight. Refused to speak to me on a 3-hour car ride after I surprised him with an all expenses paid anniversary trip because I simply asked him if he could hurry up because we were going to miss our reservation that I made. By asking him to hurry up, he refused to talk to me and I cried the entire 3-hour car ride, and he did say a word. Continue to tell me that him and his girl best friend did not have feelings for each other, even after I found a text on his phone where she said she lost her key to her apartment and she might spend the night at his house. In conclusion, we are no longer dating, but he is dating his girl best friend now. Why the fuck did I say?
Get ready with me while I talk about things that my ex did and I still stayed. All right, so we're gonna start off strong with number 1. He gave me a concussion. That one is its own separate story time, so let me know if you want the tea on that one. So I go on a vacation with my family every year during Christmas and New Year's, and I go to Florida every year to see my family, okay? And so while I was gone for 2 weeks, and during that 2-week span, he had cheated on me. And he lied to me about it all the way up until the point that he couldn't lie about it anymore because I caught him in a dead fucking lie, like, be so for real. He also would have a bunch of random girls calling his phone at like 3 o'clock in the morning while he was sleeping in my bed. And whenever I would ask him about it, he would always just be like, oh, like, that's a friend. You know, she's probably just wanting me to pick her up from a party. The fuck? This one time I was having really bad period cramps and I had asked him to go make me soup. Now, when I say make me soup, it literally was just already like pre-fucking made and I just wanted him to go put it in the microwave and give it to me and he literally fucking refused to do it. So then I got up and I ended up making my own soup in pain. Back to the concussion story. So that had happened at night, and so the next morning I was like, I need you to take me to urgent care because I'm pretty sure I have a concussion. And he literally fucking laughed at me and refused to take me and was like, you don't have a concussion. And then whenever I went to urgent care and they were like, bitch, you have a concussion, you can't drive. And I told him, he literally was laughing at me because he was still in denial of the fact that I had a fucking concussion. So that was wonderful. Also, I had told his parents about it and they also laughed at me. So this one time we were arguing and it was literally because he had woken me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like multiple fucking times because he was playing video games with his friends or whatever and he was like screaming and crashing the fuck out. And so I literally was just like, if you wake me up one more time, I'm turning the internet off because I had access to it on my phone. And when he woke me up again, I rolled over and turned that shit off and he came into the room and literally sprayed me with a fucking spray bottle and proceeded to call me a bad girl. So I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder last year, and while I was in the mix of all of it and really like heavy in my depression in my episode, we were trying to work on our relationship and we got into this argument and he literally looked at me and was just like, Ava, just because you can get out of bed now doesn't mean that you're working on shit. One of the rules in our relationship that he had put in place was that we weren't allowed to go to bars and clubs alone. So whenever I was on that vacation, whenever he cheated on me, he went ahead and lied to me about going over to a friend's house, and then I could literally see that he was at the bar and he was there till like 3 o'clock in the morning and then literally tried to lie to me about him going to the fucking bar as if I didn't have his location. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck happened there, but I wouldn't be surprised if some weird shit did happen. There was this one time at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was sound asleep and I had to go to school that same day because I had to take an exam. And he was still up playing video games even though he had to go to work that same exact day. And when I tried to go tell him to go to bed, he literally was just like, I'm fucking breaking up with you, I'm done. Mind you, he was drunk. And I was just like, okay. And I started packing my shit to leave. And he was literally sitting on this game with these random people telling them how hot and sexy I am and then proceeded to call me a whore. And I was projectile vomiting in the fucking bathroom because I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I started doing my own lashes, and when I started doing it, he literally, and I asked him if he liked it, he was just like, no, I think that that's trashy. And I was like, wow, that's really rich coming from you because you literally cheated on me with a bitch that has lash extensions. Like, what the fuck? He used to always come home at like 5 o'clock in the morning pissed fucking drunk, and I literally had no idea where the fuck he came from because he wouldn't communicate with me, so Lord knows what the fuck was going on there. There was this one time he had his friends over at our house and they spent the night, and whenever I had woken up in the morning, because I didn't sleep there, I slept over at a friend's house, and whenever I came back over there, they were all still there. There was literally mud tracked all throughout the house, trash everywhere, beer cans everywhere. My toilet literally was blown the fuck up. And whenever I was sitting there, I was like, you guys need to clean up after themselves. They all looked at me like I was batshit crazy for saying that. And then he literally made me clean it all up. For Christmas, he literally couldn't even take the time to... So we celebrated Christmas after New Year's because, again, I was on vacation. And so you had plenty of fucking time, girl, to get me a gift and to wrap it and make it look nice, and I made his gift look fucking fantabulous. You want to know what this man wrapped my shit in? First of all, the day that we were supposed to celebrate our Christmas, he had gone out literally the hour before we were supposed to celebrate it to get me gifts, and he wrapped them in Trader Joe's bags. Not to mention all of those gifts were kitchenware items when I fucking hate cooking. Anyways, bitches, that's just some of them. Let me know if you want more.
These are things my exes did to me and I stayed. Only because you guys want the tea, and this is not about one ex in specific. One of my exes had a 3-page Apple Notes love letter to another girl in our school while we were dating. Again, this is all combined, so I would write my ex like little sticky note love notes just around his room, and then the next time I would come over, I would find them in the garbage can. Like right on top of the garbage. Didn't even try to hide that he was throwing them away. In college, I went on a spring break cruise with my ex, and then I find out that he hooked up with another girl in my sorority during the cruise that we were both on together. And denied it, of course. Oh, and on that same cruise, he left me at the port, like, of the excursion by myself. Went back on the cruise by himself and left me on the island. And then he told me I was old enough to take care of myself and that I shouldn't rely on him. One of them, I lived across the hall from them in an apartment building. And the day after we break up, I stay up to see who he's gonna take home at like 3 in the morning. And joke's on me, he takes home 2 girls, not 1, but 2. Arm in arm, walking into his apartment, and we see this like face to face. The day after we break up, my ex is arm in arm with 2 girls walking into his apartment. And I see it in person. Had a diary where he was writing journal entries to his ex-girlfriend while we were still together about how much he was in love with her, how she was an angel, how he dreams of her. And the journal was sitting in his room the entire time we were dating, so he's probably still writing the entries to this day. One of them flipped me off, like gave me the middle finger to my face, and then denied it and told me I was seeing things. Traumatized, to say the least, okay? Let me know if you want a part 2. I really can't. I love you guys. Bye.
Lesbian things my exes did and I still stayed. I don't know how to not make this video 30 minutes long. I'm gonna try and talk as fast as I can. This one is my favorite ever. It's so unhinged and it makes me laugh every time I think about it. Long story short, my ex told me that her mom was taking her to Macaroni Grill for our high school graduation, and my response was, that's awesome, I love Macaroni Grill. The last time I went to Macaroni Grill, I was with my cousin and I was freezing because we had just came back from the water park and I was still in my wet bathing suit. So naturally she got so offended by that because she thought that I was trying to say that Macaroni Grill isn't a nice establishment. And so the only reasonable way to like express that really in her mind was to push me to the ground on concrete, and one of my knees bled. So that was really fun. Trigger warning. So that's one of my favorite memories, truly. That same ex would give me the silent treatment, like IRL, all the time. Like she would get mad at me all the time, like for no reason, and like would just start ignoring me, and it could be out of nothing. I have trauma from this, guys, stop. Also, sorry if this video is just like depressing. It's okay, like you can laugh now, like because I'm in therapy and it's fine. She would give me the silent treatment IRL, wouldn't tell me why she was mad. And so I'd be like, this was like also 10 years ago. No, but still it was crazy, right? No, but I'd be like, hello, and she'd be like, do you hear something? Like that. Like it was so bad. And one time she did that because we hugged in the hallway and there was static and I shocked her on accident. Like what? Good times, good times. Okay, another one of my favorites. I was dating someone in high school and it was like a secret, right? Because we were like secret lesbians. And we were juniors in high school and basically she gets asked to prom by her guy friend and she's like, can I go? And I'm like, honestly, okay, fine, queen. Because like, I'm reasonable. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I want her to experience that. And like, I'm not jealous of like a guy. Like, I don't know. It's fine. So I'm like, go, whatever. I have to watch her get proposed to. Fine. I'm handling all of it like a fucking champ. Then prom day comes, okay? And she goes to prom. And I'm getting texts from other people who, by the way, don't know that we're dating, but just think that we're best friends. Like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Like, so-and-so's crying in the bathroom. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm like texting her. She's not answering me. I'm like, why is she so upset? Come to find out that she's crying because the person that she went to prom with is hooking up with someone else. So, of course, I confront her. I'm like, girl, were you trying to hook up with him? Like, why are you upset? And she was like, it's just about respect. And he disrespected me. I stayed with her for like a really long time after that. So, girl, what? You're crazy. This is 3 minutes long. This is 3 minutes long and I'm literally only on one X. Like, okay, I guess I'll just tell one more. This one like really makes me laugh. And I'm actually curious if y'all think that this is like, it's funny because like in the moment I wasn't mad at this. It just made me laugh. But then I was telling someone about it recently and they were like, girl, what the fuck? That was so fucked up. And I was like, wait, that's kind of funny. So let me know if y'all think this is fucked up. Okay, so long story short, I go with a different ex to Rolling Loud, which is a festival, music festival. Trigger warning, because it's actually like a really sad story. It was just, okay, so like long story short, there was a scare that something really bad was happening. And so it ended up being like a false alarm, but in the moment it was like really real, and like hundreds of people were like stampede of people were like fucking running for their lives to exit the fucking festival, and we got caught in this stampede. So we had to start like running for our lives, and we're like running and crying because we don't know what's going on. I peed myself from the fucking adrenaline. Like my full bladder like exploded and I peed. And so we're like running, everyone's running to this fence, they're all jumping the fence. So we get to the fence and I look at my ex, I'm like, can you jump a fence? And she's like, no, she's like crying. I'm like, okay, so I fucking give her a boost. I boost her up off the fence. Long story short, then I can't get my ass off the fence because I have no fucking upper body strength. And so she's like on the other side of the fence. There's mesh in between the fence so we can't see each other, but we can hear each other. And she's like, are you there? And I'm like, yes, I can't get up. And she's like, I'm here. Long story short, I get stampeded. I'm on the ground underneath fucking people. It was really scary. I thought I was gonna like die. I lose my watch. I lose my shoe because because like there are people's body weights are like falling on top of me. It was like actually really, really scary. And so long story short, I like finally get myself off the fence somehow, up off the fence somehow. I fucking gash my arm. I still have the scar. I'm like bleeding. There's pee everywhere. There's dirt everywhere. I look around. I'm like, baby. She's gone. This bitch left me. She said, when she stopped hearing me answer back, she said, all right, skirt. And she left. And then when I finally found her, she was just like chilling in the parking lot with our other friends. And I was like, girl, why did you leave me? And she was like, well, you stopped answering and they were telling me to run. And I was like, who was telling you to run? She was like, everyone. I was like, your girlfriend was on the other side of the fence. I was like, what if I was dead? And she was like, yeah, that's why I ran. But then part of me is like, girl, good for you. Get your bag. Don't lose your life for no man. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was like, all right, I got my life. I'm good. I'm set. And like, honestly, good for her for that. Anyways, this is so fucking long. Those are the things that my exes did. But I can make a video that's 40 minutes long. So let me know if you want a part 2.
Get ready with me while I tell you some things that my ex did and I still stayed. I saw someone on TikTok do this earlier, so I thought that I would have my shot at it. Number 1, for Christmas, he bought me an AirTag and told me to put it on my wallet so he always knew where I was. First, I thought it was a joke. He was not laughing. Number 2, he threatened to file a restraining order against my parents because he said that he hated them and wanted absolutely nothing to do with my family. Number 3, he would tell me to not go through his phone because he didn't want me to see the other girls that were in his camera roll. And at the time, I thought it was the sweetest thing because he wanted to protect my feelings. Number 4, when I told him that I was saving myself for marriage, he didn't believe me. So he went behind my back and paid one of my friends money to stalk and spy on me. Okay. Number 5, he got arrested, and when he got his mugshot, he was so happy with how it turned out that he sent it to me, told me that he wanted to make it into a thirst trap on TikTok. Number 6, even though he made a lot of money from TikTok, every time that we went inside of a store, he always tried to steal something. And every time that I asked him why he wanted to steal something, his excuse was not wanting to wait in line to pay for it. Number 7, whenever we were breaking up, he told me that he would wait a million lifetimes to be with me, but he didn't want to wait in this one because he would get bored. Oh, Jesus. And then last but not least, whenever we broke up, he ended up moving to the state that I wanted to move to and bought the dream car that I said I wanted out of spite. The relationship was 2 years ago, so every time that I think about it, it makes me laugh. And my healing journey from that relationship is to simply make jokes out of it, so please laugh with me. Anyways, that's it. Let me know if you guys want more Get Ready With Me's. Bye!
Things my exes did, but I still stayed. He said, don't get me wrong, you're cute, but you would be so much more attractive if you lost weight. So I lost 50 pounds, and he said, well, maybe if you lose like 20 more, then you'll be perfect. In private, he would say that we're a couple, but in public, he would just call me his buddy. Wouldn't kiss me, wouldn't hold my hand around his friends. And when I would tell him that it bothered me, he would say stuff like this is the reason why we're not actually dating. At one point, we were long distance and he didn't have a car, so I had to drive to see him. He complained that I put in too much effort to come see him, but if it was a weekend he wanted me to come, he would beg me to drive up. He'd randomly say things like, well, if we're still together in the future and you get pregnant, how will you avoid gaining weight? He wanted to take a break to work on himself. We got back together a few weeks later and I found out he wanted to take the break to sleep with the girl he had a crush on. One time we were just talking and he told me point blank that if I exceeded a certain weight, he would break up with me on the spot. We would take pictures. He would tell me that I would laugh or smile too hard and that it was embarrassing. He moved. I drove in to visit and he told his new friends that a high school friend was visiting him for the weekend.
Things my ex did and I still stayed. One time I found a thong on his bed and he told me that it was his sister's. So he would literally clip his toenails and leave his toenail clippings under my pillow. And he would literally tell me that he left me a surprise under my pillow. He took me on a trip to Disneyland and then I later found out that he used my credit card to pay for it all. And the whole time I was like, oh, this is so romantic and so cute, but I literally paid for the whole trip. He would take my phone whenever he felt like it and he would either text my friends really mean things or block them because he thought that they were bad people. And there was literally times where I caught him blocking my family members because he thought that they were trying to get in the way of our relationship. Y'all know how I said that he smelled bad and he wouldn't shower? So one time when we were at the pool, as soon as he got in, I'm not even kidding, the water around him turned black. Like literally all the mugre that he had on his body was like coming off. One time I let him borrow my car and when he got back, I found a bra in the backseat and till this day I don't know whose it was. Oh, and then one time he asked me to borrow money because he said his grandma was sick, but then he ended up taking a girl out on a date with the money. He would also constantly send me pictures of models and tell me that I needed to look like them or he was going to break up with me.
Okay, these are things our exes did and we still stayed.
All right. Locked me in the bathroom after taking my phone and my car keys.
Threw me into a mirror because I was putting makeup on.
Threatened to break my arm when I said I would pay for the $9 coffee he didn't want to buy.
I found honey packets in his truck 3 weeks postpartum, and he said they were his friends.
I told those for you too.
Thank you.
He put me outside of my own car at night in the rain at a church with no phone for an hour before he came back.
I didn't know that.
It was New Year's Eve.
Cheated on me and gave me chlamydia and said it was my fault.
I broke my leg. And we got in an argument in the truck. And he took my crutches and left me in the hot truck until he wasn't mad at me anymore. He came back. It was fine.
Banged his head so hard on the steering wheel that he chipped his teeth and made his mouth bleed.
Emptied our bank account the day I was paid because I caught him cheating on his baby mama. Or cheating on me with his baby mama.
Slept with my sister on family vacation.
Picked me up from my house to go to his house. Left his house to get us food. Went to the bar for 6 hours.
Purposely made us get in a wreck, and I slammed my head on the dashboard and he didn't say anything.
Ladies, get therapy. Don't stay.
These are things my ex did to me and I still stayed. I have a list right here and I sent this list to my ex and he thinks that I'm blowing it all out of proportion. It's not true, or I don't know. So let me know. Am I blowing this out of proportion? Just let me know.
Disclaimer, there was a time period that we were broken up, but we were still actively talking, hooking up, seeing each other, you know. But this is in a span of 7 years, so. First thing, he cheated on me, and he lied to me about it for 8 months. He told his friends, family, whoever about it, and no one told me. No one told me. He didn't finally told me, and I still stayed with him. Years later, when I would bring it up, obviously, because it's hard to let that go, he would say it's not a big deal because he was so young. Every time I'd bring it up, it was just not that big of a deal. I was so young. Okay. When we were broken up, I hooked up with someone he didn't want me to hook up with. He would bring it up constantly after I did that, and then I would bring up the fact that he cheated on me. But, you know, his excuse was he was so young, even though I was 1 year older when I did that and he did that. But yeah, I wasn't even with him, but he was dating me when he did that. I don't know. He has had sex with me when I said no, multiple times. This has happened a lot. Yeah. He begged me to do anal and proceeded to manipulate me to do anal with him. I did it, didn't want to do it. My friend knew about this. He came to my defense and he was just, you know, defending me from my boyfriend, or we were exes at the time. But he threatened him and said, stay out of our business or else. He said I looked like a slut in front of my friends because I was wearing lip gloss. He said I looked like a prostitute in front of his friends because I was wearing pearls and fur, which he does not like. And yeah, he got his friends involved in our argument and they all disagreed with him. And he still thought that he was in the right. He couldn't see where he was wrong in that. This was early in our relationship. He has argued with my mom when he was drunk. And that same night he told me that I wasn't even his type. He's actually into Latinas. So one night his friend called me, saying that my boyfriend, or he was I think he was my ex at the time, saying that he got in a really, really bad fist fight with somebody and he was really, really hurt. And he also beat up a guy really, really bad, saying that he's gonna be in trouble. Oh my gosh, like this is not okay. I was freaking out. Super, super bad. This was like a 45 minute conversation. My friend that I was with at the time, we were with a bunch of our friends. He got on the phone. He was like, oh my gosh, I can help out. I have lawyers. Oh my gosh. And come to find out, it was a prank. They were pranking me. And my friend was so upset, started crying, being like, I can't believe you get treated like this. What the fuck? He has called me delusional, a bitch, and crazy multiple times. After we broke up the first time, he hooked up with someone 3 days after we broke up. We were together for 2.5 years. He has hooked up with me and 2 other girls in the same day. He told me about it. This is when we weren't together, but this one of my favorites. He hooked up with my roommate when they were all abroad, and multiple times. They also went on a 3-day lovely trip together. Very romantic. Came back. I asked him about it because I had a weird feeling about something if it happened. He lied to me about it. I found out by going through his phone. Confronted him. He came clean, but barely took accountability for it. So yeah. He befriended a friend of mine that I was not good with. He's gotten in multiple fistfights with people for me, for my defense, for my honor, whatever the fuck. One of those fistfights was at my house for when I was throwing a homecoming party. My dad had to get involved. The next day, he barely took accountability for it, but, you know. He has pissed on my car before because he was really mad at me. One time, he didn't want to drive me and my friends to a nearby bar. I don't know why. He drove off in anger and almost ran over my friend's foot. He hooked up with another one of my kind of friends, a girl I got along with, told me about it. He just loves hooking up with people I know. One night I was having a DJ set and he was supposed to come to it. All of his friends showed up except him. It was really weird. He was very vague about it, ditched me, being an asshole to me that entire night. Very weird. One day my friend was coming to my defense because he got into a fist fight with somebody. My friend was defending me and arguing with him about it. Since that day forward, he did not like my friend because she defended me. He hated her. Nah. I was supposed to go to formal with him. We weren't together, but he got mad at me. I don't even know. And he took another girl to my formal, and I ended up not going because of that. His friends defend everything that he does, apparently, and they apparently also lie to me. They just apparently don't respect me. On top of that, he fucked one of his friends. Yeah, she was like so nice to me and would like talk shit about him all the time and being like, I love you, girl, like, let's hang out. She fucked him recently, by the way. Right before I went to Chicago, I went to Lollapalooza, I was like talking about my outfit and he took that as, oh my god, you're gonna dress like a slut without me? What the fuck? Got in a huge blowout fight about that, being like, I can't dress like that without him. He blocked me on everything right before I went. While I was there, he called me and was just fucking with me, being an asshole. I was just kind of ruined my trip. Got back and he acted like nothing happened. When I tried to have a serious conversation with him about it, he would not even really talk to me. He would just be like, come here, give me a hug. Wouldn't have a serious conversation with me about it. This one's my favorite. One day I was hanging out with him and he told me to get on the scale. I did not want to do that, obviously. I was like, no, what the fuck? He said, well, I have a right to know your weight. I said no multiple times until he said, well, I'm not leaving here until you get on the scale. My dumb ass did, and I started crying because I was hungover, bloated. I did gain a little bit of weight, whatever, don't like weighing myself. I started crying and he said I was being over dramatic and throwing a pity party. I was like, have I gained weight? He's like, no, you're beautiful. When I was driving him home, I was like, are you sure I haven't gained weight? Can you be fucking honest with me? He said, well, if you want me to be honest, your midsection, neck, and ass are bigger. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I started crying even more. And ever since then, we just never agreed on any of it because he just still never thought he was wrong in that situation. I think still to this day, he still thinks that he was right. I don't know, but I'm just blowing everything out of proportion, right? When I was breaking up with him, I told him all these things, and he just couldn't see it. He was wrong in any of it. Yeah, but when he realized I was breaking up with him, he was like, go through it again. I'll take accountability. I did. And he would just say accountable. And if he didn't fully agree with it, he would say, there's a gray area in that. Accountable. Yeah. And just recently we had a phone call and he said that he broke up with me. When that's not true. And then he finally was like, well, it's actually 50-50. No. There are a lot more things that happen, but I'm not going to say it out of respect for some people that were very serious. But yeah, let me know if I'm blowing things out of proportion. That's what I was told. But yeah, apparently this is a lot, but yeah, so that's that. And I still stayed. I stayed for 7 years. Yeah, it's crazy.